What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm your host, Sam Capizzi, here at CryptoSomniac to bring you everything crypto related, where the markets never sleep and neither do we. Today, I want to talk to you guys about what futures are, and futures are nothing new to Bitcoin, but I want to talk to you how they're going to, or how they relate to Bitcoin. Just recently, CME announced, the CME group announced that they will be adding Bitcoin futures. CME is the world's largest and most diverse derivatives marketplace, offering basically the largest range of futures and options products for risk management. And futures are basically contracts for, or an agreement that is, agreed upon. A certain product is agreed upon to be exchanged between two parties at a set or predetermined price. And they're applying those to Bitcoin starting December 11th. So I wanted to take this opportunity to describe to you how you can utilize futures to your advantage. So let's begin. All right, so let me explain to you how this would work in a traditional sense, and then I'll segue that into how this really matters for Bitcoin. So as I mentioned, futures contracts are a way for two parties to agree on a predetermined price of an asset. So let's take, for example, a producer of gold. And let's say he's selling that to a jeweler over here. And again, we are talking about gold. And let's say the producer sells 1 pound of gold to the jeweler. 1 pound of gold at a price of, let's say, $20,000 in 6 months. So the producer enters an agreement with the jeweler to sell him 1 pound of gold at $20,000 in 6 months. And what this does is it helps alleviate some of the exposure and the risk of fluctuating prices for both of them. The jeweler knows in 6 months he's going to get 1 pound of gold, and the producer knows he's going to get $20,000 for it. Now, let's show you a scenario in which, say, in about 3 months' time, the market price of gold actually goes up to $25,000, and I'll shorten that for $25K. So the market price of gold is now $25,000 instead of $20,000. So the jeweler's thinking, great, this is fine and dandy. I've made $5,000 already for locking in my price of gold 3 months back at $20,000. And meanwhile, the producer is very unhappy and lost $5,000. So what they could do, let's say the jeweler thinks, this is great. I'd want to lock this price in. I feel like this is temporary and gold may sink back to $20,000. And the producer is scared of, it increasing even further in price. So he doesn't want to lose any more money. So with that information, they could actually enter a second agreement and do what's called novating the first contract. So this here is still one contract, and it is a binding contract. You cannot get out of it. But what you could do is novate it and basically include it as part of a second contract. So what could happen here is they could say in 3 more months, let's sell this gold, this 1 pound of gold, for $25K. So this guy, the producer, locks in, his rate of 25. So does the jeweler. He's not worried about it sinking. He's not worried about it going up any further. So this process could take place in 2 different ways. What could happen is the producer in 3 months' time could honor this first contract by sending the 1 pound of gold straight over to the jeweler for $20,000. So the jeweler sends over $20,000 to the producer. So the jeweler would then give this gold back to the producer for $20,000, and the jeweler profits $5,000, and the producer is down $5,000. And what alternatively you could do, instead of doing what we just did, we honored one contract, then we did the second contract. What could actually take place, instead of actually trading this asset, we could actually just gamble on this price in the future without any intention to actually exchange these two or exchange these assets back and forth. What could essentially happen is the producer could just send $5,000 straight over to the jeweler if these two contracts play out the way that they do. And what you have essentially is gambling on the prices of an asset in the future. And it's a way to profit and make money. This guy ends up losing money. This guy ends up profiting, just as the traditional stock market's worth. People, make investments and they make money based upon, their a hope that the asset will increase in value. This is something that you can do very similar between two traders gambling on the price of assets in the future. So what you could essentially have is the same exact scenario for Bitcoin, and that's what CME is actually doing. So let me explain to you how that might look. Let me erase the board. So what you could actually have is people do this on the price of a Bitcoin. So we'll put Bitcoin here, and we'll call them Trader A, and Trader B. So now the people, you could actually gamble on the price of Bitcoin in the future. And that's what CME is doing. And they will be adding the option to trade on future Bitcoin prices on December 11th. I believe it is a Monday. And that's exactly as I said in that previous example. Someone, Trader A and Trader B, might agree that Bitcoin at a certain price in time, say 10,000 on January 1st, and they could bet on that contract. And you could actually do this with multiple parties, and that's how you have basically a whole economy of people gambling on these different prices. So let me show you an example of actually 3 traders doing this between each other. All right, so let's show you how this will look with 3 people in an economy. So let's take, for example, let's say me, my co-founder Sneh, and you. We'll put you over here. Let's put a circle around each. And let's say on day 1 of the markets, day 1, the market price of Bitcoin is, say, 8,000. And what I say, or what I do, is let's say I want to take a long position in Bitcoin and buy some. So I'll put a B, and I buy at 8K. So I put in a order for Bitcoin at 8,000. What someone else could do, Sneh, for example, could bet or gamble on that same thing. And there always needs to be basically someone willing to take an opposite position to the position I'm taking. So if I'm buying, someone else needs to be selling. So let's say Sneh says, okay, I'm willing to do that. I will sell him my Bitcoin in the future at, let's say, exactly 8K. Then we can introduce, say, you, a third person. And let's say on day 2 of the market, Bitcoin actually increases to 9K, which in all honesty isn't even that crazy the way the markets currently react. So let's say we're at 9K on day 2. So now let's introduce you into this market. Let's say you want to jump in, and let's say it is day 2 of the market and Bitcoin is up to 9K, which honestly isn't even that crazy here with the way prices go in Bitcoin. So let's say it's 9K today, and you want to hop into this market, and I have Bitcoin, so I agree to sell it to you at a future price of, say, 9K. And I am closing out my position, and I agreed to sell that to you. So now let's fast forward to day 3. Let's say on day 3, the price of Bitcoin is at 10K. Now, he is basically out at this point, 2K. So he eventually these guys need to all close out their positions. And let's say he agrees to sell at the increased price of, let's say, 10K. And he is willing to buy at that price of 10K. So now on day 3, everyone has effectively closed out all of their positions. Sneh is in the hole about 2K because he sold at 8 and bought back at 10. So he is actually out 2K. I am up 1K plus. And same thing for you. 1K and plus. And as the markets carry on, everyone has opened and closed a position in this economy. So there would be a total gain, total value transfer of basically $0. Well, not value transfer, but everyone circulated money into the economy, but it all adds up to 0. -2 plus 1 plus 1 is 0. And basically everyone took a shot at gambling on different prices of Bitcoin. And I made out 1, you made out 1, and Sneh went down -2. And what you have is basically a little economy of basically gambling for 3 different people. And if it works for 3 people, it could essentially work for a market of 2,000 or 1,000,000 people. And that's basically what CME is allowing people to do by adding Bitcoin futures to their group. So you are, on December 11th, will be able to do exactly this. And there was even, and I was going to do this video prior and apply it to B2X, but B2X has since been postponed. I think they actually ended up going forward with it. A small group of miners decided to go with SegWit 2X. But now that, this was eventually, I was going to explain this video with Bitcoin 2X, and people were basically trading on future prices of Bitcoin 2X even before it was out on the market. So Bitcoin 2X was set to launch, say in 2 weeks. People were able to trade on futures prices of B2X. When you went to coinmarketcap.com or cryptosomniac.com and searched for B2X, you would have found future prices, and everyone had commented and asked me what that price actually meant. What does it mean when B2X futures are $2,000 when it's not even out yet? Well, what it means is that someone in this economy was gambling on the future price of B2X, and eventually someone is going to miss out because eventually this person, all the people in here, are going to have to deliver the asset to someone. So this is a way to trade all these assets without ever even trading them and gambling. So I hoped that you guys enjoyed this video. You can head over to my website at www.cryptosomniac.com to learn more. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not already. And in fact, if you want to learn more about Bitcoin and the markets, how to set up anything, head over to my website, and I have a full course on how to do everything that you need to do on how to get started learning how to open up an exchange, how to set up a wallet, enables security on your accounts, research your own cryptocurrencies. It's very in-depth, so take a look at that if you're new to cryptocurrency. So thank you guys all for watching, and remember, stay a cryptosomniac because the markets never sleep, and neither do we.